And 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight I have Carl, George, Moose, and Andy. We are the Monday Blues, coming to you in 2025 for a quick preseason video, just to sort of touch on everything that's happened in a very, very Carlton preseason, in a very, very Carlton start to the year. Now, before we jump into it, before we get into all the goss, all the details, all the news that has come out of the Carlton Football Club so far, let's quickly go around the grounds and just see what the boys have been up to in their own off seasons. Carl, I'll throw it to you first.
First of all, good to see you fellas. It's been a while. I mean, we did have one catch up a few weeks back. Didn't want to see Mus, but that was unfortunate. Just sorry, Mus, I love you. Just a quiet one, really, man. Nothing. Haven't been really paying close attention to the footy, to be honest. Just enjoying the off season. Been going away here and there, back at work.
Mad invite, bro.
Yeah. I tried calling you. Your phone was off. Just smooth sailing on my end. What about you, Mr. Mutz?
Yeah, good, Kaz. Just laying low, work.
You are not laying low. If anybody follows Moose on Instagram, you know he's not laying low.
What do you mean?
Every day he's posting his Dermot gym, calves, doing these ones in laying low.
LFG.
The choice of attire. The choice of attire today is on purpose. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, he's just showing his guns. That's all it is.
Drenched.
You're drenched. Show us.
Is that a bit of baby oil I see there?
What's with his
Diddy in the house.
Alec.
Someone else go, man. Give it to someone else.
Well, nice little segue into Georgie, maybe. It's the Scotty Tompkins. Welcome back to 2025. Good to see you, Scotty. George sold the collection and spent it all on piss. George, do you want to...
Can I just say, shout out to Scotty, because the other night on Rocco and Andy Unfiltered, Scotty's comments in the chat actually had me in stitches and tears. So I miss him. Glad to see you back. Glad to see everyone back in the chat. Actually, so many familiar names back in there. Hit the like button. Have you still got me?
Yeah, sure.
I'm blaming the heat. The internet's a bit choppy. I've relocated, if you haven't noticed, with my surroundings. So baby number 3 on the way in about 4 or 5 weeks. So I've been banished, I guess, to the to another side of the house. So but the collection is packed away. Not so much spent it on piss, but spent it on at baby bunting, I guess you can say that. So. Good to be back. But no, really good off season. I met a ton of really massive Carlton fanatics in the Carlton card community. So Andy can attest to my sickness, if you want to call it.
I'm worried about him.
But met a ton of
worried for his marriage.
Really, really cool Carlton people in the card community. Alex H, if you're watching, Adelaide Andy, I'm going to call him, from Port Pirie in South Australia, who might be watching as well. So some really, really cool people in the Carlton card community from around Australia. So shout out to you guys if you're watching. Andy?
Summer was good. How hot's it been? I know I'm supposed to tell you about my summer, but
I'm sweating.
I'm not a summer guy. I thought I was for a little bit there, but nah, I'm not. I'm a winter guy. Summer was all right. Just work heaps, like the shop. Summer's peak time for me, so didn't really get to enjoy too much outdoor time. A lot of work, and just chilled out. I was doing Unfiltered over at the Jumper Punch with Rocco, which kept me kind of in the game a bit. So I would have got rusty. I don't know how you boys are feeling, but because I'm rusty doing this now. Like it's just weird sitting in front of a webcam and not face to face. So it is very different. But yeah, Amal, how was your preseason?
Good. Spent a lot of time with family. Had a couple of weeks off during the Christmas and New Year's break, which was nice. And it's just like you said, Andy. It's been really hot. It's been a proper Aussie summer. It hasn't been like the last couple of years where it's been one hot day and then 6 days of rain. It's just been proper sweaty weather. Just like you said, right? Just spent a lot of time with family, friends, played a lot of golf. I don't know. I haven't told you guys, but I actually got my recreational pilot's license as well.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, on Microsoft Flight.
Wait.
I got it.
You can fly a plane.
On
Nah, it's
Flight
probably
Simulator.
probably shouldn't be saying that.
This
anymore.
bloke, man, flight simulator is talking about.
I can fly a plane. I can fly. You put me in a real plane, I can fly it now thanks to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's good. But
Just
yeah,
move right along, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to shout out some people in the chat. All right. Firstly, shout out Uncle Sam. Love ya. Big boy Moose in the chat. Yeah, boys, I've been laying low.
Lay your breath, man.
Hey, straight out. I love our chat. Our chat is unhinged. It's my favorite thing in the world. I could just, these comments are fantastic. Shout out Jay Taylor in the chat as well. Absolute legend. We will get into what you're talking about with Mr. Luke Sayers. Is that a segue? Should we just get straight into the dick pic?
let's just get our things up and then we'll go on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
don't know about that, Carl. I don't know about that.
It's just like we joke about it all the time every year. Like there's no Carlton off season without some sort of drama, some sort of headline, some sort of injury. But that was left field, right? And there was that awkward 2 week, wait where you think, is he going to fall on his own sword? Fall on his own sword, so to speak. You know what I mean? But like, is he? it was, But I'm back. I'm back.
Snip,
but yeah, I don't know. So
what an embarrassment!
Yeah.
What an actual embarrassment. Our president. All right, let me just paint you a picture. All right, let me just
please don't.
No. So the president of a football club, of an AFL football. I'm not talking about the local West Meadows, Jacana, Hadfield. I'm talking about the Carlton Football Club, the biggest club in the world. Right? And I'll fight anyone, whatever. The biggest club in the world, any sport. And the actual president of that football club had his eggplant,
His
his cucumber posted on Twitter. Now, there's obviously speculation of how that came about or whatever, but it's unforgivable for me. I don't care how it came about. You're the president of a football club. He didn't even say sorry. Like, he didn't apologize. He didn't back down. Yeah, he just I didn't do it, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I got hacked.
Yeah, hacked.
That's what it was.
But he was able to access it in 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. But when you're hacked, it takes you a lot longer. My Instagram got hacked last year. It took me 12 hours to get back into it. So,
on his response, sorry, Emil, you go.
And just to add to the whole situation, he went on and tagged the Bupa executive, who's one of Carlton's major sponsors as well, just to add some sugar to some sprinkles on top of the whole situation. A Bupa executive.
Forgot about that.
Was that part of the sponsorship deal?
You get a free dick pic.
Allegedly. But I think going back to your point, Eddie, had he have apologized for the alleged, him posting it, that's an admission of guilt, of course, right?
Yeah, of course. He'll never do that. No.
Yeah, and I've there's 101 different theories out there, and the only people who really know is Luke Sayers and maybe the exec. Who knows, right? Like, that's the other thing as well. Like, I know a few people are talking about Carlton Respects one, and absolutely, like, it's kind of different. Obviously, Carlton Respects is not I don't want to align it to what happened because it's not aligned to dick pics. But again, sexual harassment, domestic violence,
Come on,
and
bro.
whatnot.
It kind of is.
It is, but I pose another question to you as well, and this is not condoning at all what he's doing and whatnot. But
I feel
some
like
people
this is
are saying,
about to condone.
no, I'm not at all. But what if, for example, and it's a terrible way to do it, but what if he had a consensual relationship with her, for example? Again, that's whatever. If you want to do some sick stuff and you're
something.
outside the
This
marriage,
is going in a bad direction.
it is.
George
But
knows something.
what I'm
He's
saying,
making a good point, yeah.
what I'm saying is, I absolutely, he's an absolute knob. Pardon the pun, right? For putting it up, right? And it's an embarrassment because so many people around the like fucking Jade Taylor.
Wait. Can we just clarify what head's going to be bobbling?
We've been
That's
we've been on for 12 minutes. 12.
I personally, I was on the train that the guy had to probably go after the PwC scandal and a few other, there was question marks already over his head before this. And this is just a nail, final nail in the coffin.
All I'm hearing is head and bobblehead and
However,
we are not mature enough for this conversation.
we are not. I can confirm we are not.
No, I
but-
get what you're saying, Georgie.
Yeah.
I do. But I think, irregardless of that, you're pushing this Carlton respects thing, which is a brilliant initiative. I think as the president, whether the circumstance dictates or not, just come out and apologize. Dictates.
Unbelievable, Andy.
You did well to sneak that in. I like it.
Well done.
I had to. But he had to apologize at the very least. Just apologize that the picture was made public. You don't have to take accountability. Just come on, bro. He's 50-something years old. The bloke's got 2 or 3 kids. He's married. Pull your head in, mate. If that's the bloke leading the football club, right? Pull your head in. Yeah. All right. This is not good.
I reckon he handled it well. I reckon.
You reckon he handled it well?
But the
What
guy
are you talking about?
he was running away from reporters in Italy. Did you see the footage when they were chasing him outside his hotel in Italy?
The footage.
Good. Look, regardless of whatever happened, I think he's absolutely messed up, and rightly so. He shouldn't be part of the club. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that will not speak out against him within the club and things like that as well. And there's a bit of hypocrisy there. But I think after the PwC stuff that was hanging over his head, this is wild. And I will read out something that I read that absolutely killed me. I can't remember where I read it, but someone posted, this is not the first Carlton president with a dick pic. Maybe handled it well. Looks like a firm grip on it, Carl. What I read was, it's not the first. If it's not the first Carlton president with a dick pic, technically every photo of Richard Pratt was a dick pic.
George.
Kick him out, bro.
It's fantastic. Dick Pratt, come on.
That is
Come
not.
on.
That is not good.
Come on. Anyway, I read that online. That was fantastic. All right. That's me done.
Well, who's next? Who's next in line for president?
Josh
I think
Bootsma.
one of the VPs or something or a couple of them are just doing it until they find someone.
I think Patty Kinnersley, she's stepping in with co-stepping in with someone else, and they've got a few. A few people have dropped out of the race. Didn't Juddy and Kuda say they're not? Well, Kuda's focusing on his.
Why is Kuda even in the conversation? Why is Kuda? He needs to say no. He needs to learn the word no.
He did.
Yes
He
for
said no.
everything.
No, he's gone for federal.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He said he's federally campaigning, which is why he said no. He's not happy with just mayor, mate. He's going next level.
Better keep him away.
Hey, man, dream big, like Luke says.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Look,
I just, for me, it was like, just apologize. If he came out and said sorry, this, I don't know how it happened. Make up a story, bro, like he did. I'm sure. I think we all know what really happened, but we're not really allowed to say it because it all is alleged. But I don't think he's a good bloke. Like everything I've learnt about Luke Sayers since he became our president, I just don't think he's a nice person. I don't think he's a good person. I think he's a shit bloke. So it doesn't surprise me if it was him, and it doesn't surprise me if the other thing that everyone knows happened that we're not allowed to talk about happened. So I don't know.
Fair.
All right. Well, he's gone now. We've got co-presidents for the meantime until we find a permanent replacement. Just before the season wrapped up for Carlton, after our 60-0 demolition in the first half, where we didn't kick a goal against Brisbane, Andrew Russell resigned from the Carlton Football Club. Well, at least that's what it says publicly. He was probably let go of, had a talking to by the club, and we brought in what was his name? The new fitness or the high performance coach, Robert something.
Robert Whittaker
From Sydney.
From Sydney.
Robert from Sydney.
Robert from Sydney.
His name's probably not even Robert.
Now,
his name's Robert from, I don't know, but even if it's not.
I feel like it's Robert. So in the chat, if you guys know what our new high performance coach's name is, I remembered it. It's gone now. It's not in my mind.
Robert.
Rob Innes.
Rob Innes. There we go.
Where Rusty has.
We were hoping that the preseason would get through preseason at least without any injuries. Now, the first injury that we copped, number 1, Nick Newman.
Shocking.
Yeah.
And we don't have Andrew Russell to blame. So who do we blame now?
Turf. Did it happen at Carlton?
No. They were
Wasn't that the university?
Did he?
Yeah, that's right. Was that Latrobe?
Latrobe.
Yeah.
Did he have a Carlton Guernsey on? That'll do it.
I can't understand. Are we training like really hard? Is that what it is? Are we just overtraining the boys? Is Voss trying to harden them up and make them just beasts? And in the process, we're just losing players left, right, and center because it's not sustainable. It's just not.
But it doesn't make sense though either. Like you're training so hard and physical, you can't even use it in a real game. Like you do anything, and it's just either reported or free kick.
Nick is he's a very durable player, and this is stiff. This hurts because he's right up there as one of the most consistent players on the list. Like, he doesn't play a bad game, as Mus always calls out. But yeah, Adrian's comment, going back to what Andy just said.
I've heard that for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
I swear, this has been the hardest preseason yet. It's the same shit every year.
Yeah, all we have.
But the thing is, ever since Voss got there, he's obviously played that. I mean, we didn't do it last year much, but that brutal contested game. So training has to be taken up a notch. Are the boys just not conditioned well enough, and they're just collapsing? Is it pre-Voss issues? This is what, his 4th season now, I think.
Yes, it is.
Yes. 2022 was
So I mean, that's 3-4 years now under Voss with a full preseason. You'd think the players would be conditioned for that by now. I don't know how. Mus is probably the one to talk to. Mr. Dermot Jim in the mirror is probably the one to talk to about it. How long does it take to adjust, do you think, Mus?
Not 4 years, bro. Not 4 years. And the conditioning coach and everyone else around. It's not Voss's job. It's got nothing to do with Voss.
No, I'm not saying it's Voss's job, but obviously he wants them to play a certain style. So,
I'm yet to see it. I know where you went with that, where we played that brutal. I think that brutal game style, but that didn't last.
I let him out.
Just saw that. I was like, what is it highlighted? That brutal game style, Andy, as you were sort of heading down that path, but that was really short lived. Maybe half a season, and then we backed right off. I don't know.
I think to answer your question, Andy, we'll probably see it later in the season with the likes of your Chera, your Silvani, your Walsh, like the guys that are Well,
Coming back from
obviously,
injury.
yeah. So Chera went to. Did he go to Qatar, Dubai? He went to Qatar, I think.
Yeah,
He spent
Qatar. Yep.
a few months there, or however long he did there. Obviously, Jack's back in training. We had a few other injuries, which we'll cap on. But that's what I'm keen to see: the longevity and the consistency of those players throughout the year. So I guess that question will probably be answered. You know, it's all well and good having a great start to the season as well. But if we start breaking down around July, August, September, like just, you know, my day was ruined today when I saw the 60-0 and I saw a comment saying our last 8 matches in the run-in, we had only beaten West Coast and North, and I was like, my whole day's ruined. Like I started hating life. But it's the consistency across the year. How are those blokes going to perform and get up? And we'll probably see naturally. There's going to be some accidents happen. Recurring ones, not
Just like
not
that,
occur.
George. Just like that.
Yeah.
We lost you for a bit there, Georgie.
Yeah. My internet's choppy. Sorry, boys.
Some of the
Carry on.
of the media that Carlton posts around the training and the way that they're training and the intensity that they're training at does worry me. We've had injuries in preseasons, bad ones for as long as I can remember. It almost feels like we know what Voss was like as a player. The guy was a nutcase. He was probably one of the hardest players going around. And maybe he's come into this preseason going, you know what, we need to make Carlton hard again. And when he presented that to Luke Sayers, he took that the wrong way.
I knew that. Yeah.
There's a few comments that I really like. This one here by George, our good friend George.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, maybe we aren't good enough. We're so fragile as a fan base as well. And we've spoken on this in the past, where it's like we've got PTSD, and we're just so traumatized from the past that one injury and we're just off the ship. We're done. So it's one of the worst players to lose, Nick Newman. But it's a position that we can fill. It's a position that we do have other people to fill. So they're not going to do it like Nick Newman, but yeah.
Well, wasn't the plan with Nick Newman for him to play on the wing this year? He swapped with Ollie. Ollie went into the halfback, and Nick Newman was going to play on the wing.
I wasn't sure. I knew Ollie was going back. I didn't know who was coming out though.
Might have found that, to be honest.
Doc's been training on the wing. I think it's like just adding something to Ollie's game, but now you're going to have to obviously rely on. There's him. There's we've got a consistency a bit more from Cowan in the back line. Wilson can potentially come in. They might even float around one of the recent draftees or the Camparellis. Like it's going to be interesting to see who covers him. It's going to be a team effort, but I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to actually take that mantle. Who's going to shine? Who's going to actually be the one to say it's my spot?
Why is Voss doing these changes though? Like I can understand some you put in Jack at the back, but Nick Newman, was he runner up or did he win the best and fairest?
Runner up.
And you changing his position. That sort of a bit confusing. Up, he's injured now, but that's confusing for me. Like why?
I think he has to try something.
Wouldn't you do it with someone that hasn't had the greatest season?
Nah, because if you haven't had the greatest season, for me, like maybe a Chera. You give Chera, but has Chera got the tank to run on the wing? I didn't think Nick Newman had the tank to run on the wing. So I don't mind that he's trying things. We have to. We're not good enough right now, right?
We're too slow.
We're way too slow. And it does my head in how they're banking on Silvani to go back. We leak so many goals out the back because we couldn't run. And we're literally putting the slowest player in the AFL in the defense now. I love Jack. I'm a massive Jack Silvani fan. I do not want to see him one out in defensive 50. All they do is kick it over his head, and his opponent's just going to run all over him.
Yeah.
And
how many times did we see that last year as well? How many times did we see that?
Oh.
Not with Jack, but just with our defense in general. Over the head, gone.
They deleted the club. I'm 100% the club deleted one of my comments on one of those videos that they posted. They posted a play that we did. We went coast to coast. Everyone was like, "Oh, how good's this player? How good's that player?" All I saw was a team that couldn't defend the transition still, right? And I wrote that, and I said, "Where's the defensive effort to stop the transition?" And they deleted my comment. They actually deleted my comment. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm worried about this season. I'm genuinely concerned. I'm still very, very upset about that final. Like I'm upset with selection, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, but injuries and injuries."
Nah,
Play the kids. I'd rather lose by 100 points playing the kids than lose by 38 points after not kicking a goal for almost a half a footy with a full squad of half injured players. Come on,
bad.
bro.
60
And Michael Voss, he's my biggest watch of the year. I know we're going to do a preview video in a couple of weeks, but Michael Voss for me is number one, head on the line. Like he is on the line. If we're not in a good position by round 6, get him the fuck out of the club.
Yep.
Get him out. I don't want to see him have a comeback, win a few games. I'm done with Michael Voss. Like personally, I hope.
Say to him, he's in the chat.
Trust me, we ain't got shit, bro. You went hiding in the fucking final. Don't forget that in the last quarter. I didn't forget it.
That was embarrassing.
I don't know, man. I hope he comes out and I hope he coaches the shit out of the team, and we win 22 games in a row and win 3 finals in a row, and we win a premiership, and then we win the next 5. I hope that happens, but I can't see where we improve. I like, where did we improve? We're going to get into our draft and all that, right? And we're going to get into the players that left. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Owens and Kennedy, right? Were you guys shocked about the Kennedy or Owens?
I'm not more shocked. I'm more upset about Kennedy.
Yeah.
Always too. Always,
yeah, you do. But then you think about you bring in the kids. I mean, we do have kids, but then you think as well, like you got Motlop. He was fucking shit last year. He was trash. We got superstar Durden, absolute bloody all Australian.
Hey, he killed it against West Coast.
Oh, West Coast,
against fucking West Coast.
And then you look at Owens. How old was Owens? 28, 29. So you think they did get rid of him because of his age, but are we going to see that improvement that we need from these young flops? Are they going to step up? But I'm more upset about Kennedy. That's the one that was a bit surprising for me.
Yeah.
So I've heard a few things about Kennedy. I heard that this is again I heard, right? I don't actually know, but I've heard it from multiple people now that so when he got subbed off against Brisbane, apparently they wanted to shift positions for him first, and he declined. He didn't want to be switched. I think forward or back. I can't remember
half forward. Now that you're saying it, I recall this. Yeah.
I
think it was half forward.
And then he said no, and then he got subbed off and cracked the sads. Fair enough. And I think that was like a nail in the coffin for him. If that's the case, that's all ifs, and I don't know how true that is. It's probably irresponsible of me to even talk about it, but we don't give a fuck here at the Monday Blues. We'll fucking call anyone out. But yeah, I don't know. Always for me was always going to get traded. We weren't signing him. It was the obvious decision, and it's like I understand it. I don't like it because I think he kicked 40 goals a couple years in a row now. Like, he's the only one kicking goals. If Charlie and Harry aren't kicking them, it's Matty Owens. Yeah. And you're now taking that, but they're just going all in with Motlop and Zach Williams, and maybe this gives Ashton Moyer.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Moyer.
Same. Same.
I am, but are they going to play him? That's the thing. Like, are they?
I reckon he's a lock for round 1. I reckon he's a lock.
See, I don't think he is.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's a lock for round 1, but he'll definitely get game time.
Apparently, he's had a really good preseason. I know we hear it all the time and whatnot, but for me, like going back, and I probably agree with a little bit of what Adrian said here. I'll share a comment, Adrian. We can't. I think at Carlton as well, especially, we have this mindset that certain players just aren't replaceable. And I firmly believe, he's replaceable, right? We like. Let's be real. He had a fantastic season, right? And he was probably stiff. And we spoke about this at one of our last shows in the end of last year. he was on rookie contract after rookie contract and getting, minimum wage and whatnot. And he wanted to get his payday. He got his 3 years or whatever he got. That's fine. Good on him, right? All the best here. But do we really think we can't replace Matthew Owies? Like, do we really think we can't find someone that can eventually kick 30 goals
a season? What are we paying Motlop for? What are we paying Zach Williams for?
No, we can, but we don't have time to waste. Like, we're in the now.
Yeah.
We haven't got
this is the window.
Between you, Zach Williams, who obviously shifted forward, again, I think it was the Sydney game or, 10 or 11 rounds in. Between him, hopefully fit and firing and having that new lease in life in the forward line. Durden and Motlop. Look, Motlop had a really interrupted preseason. It started with a toe, the calf, the knee. His whole leg was falling off, basically, right?
I feel like he put on a lot of size too.
He's stocky. He's stocky, isn't he? I'm looking forward.
Have a look at his quads, bro. Have a look at his legs. He's put on a lot of size on his legs, and I feel like maybe he took him a while to adjust to that as well. Like he's playing a different game. He's in a new body, pretty much. Yeah. So,
and then you got to think of Brody Kemp. It sounds like he's going to be a mainstay up forward, right? So then, if you got him and you want to blood Moya and play him in, I think that answer's there for you. Kennedy obviously is a little bit of a different one. Going back to your point, Carl, like you don't have a like for like replacement. Obviously, Jagger Smith, who apparently also is a potential lock for round one.
He has to be.
He has to be.
Yeah,
we literally gave up our future for this bloke. We gave up everything.
Yeah.
So
he's got a lot of pressure on him,
especially from our group chat.
Can I just put something out there that everyone picks on him for his size? He's not that much smaller than Dacos. Can I just be perfectly honest? Like Nick Dacos was a little
bitch, bro.
Dacos is a bitch. Pretty bad, George, to put that.
By the way, huge shout out to the 75, 76 side in the chat. Hit the like button. We're only on 19, so get those numbers up there.
Get us up to 35.
Just on George, you sort of mentioned Kemp before. Do you see him playing? I know there was talks about him playing forward, but you're talking these names. He doesn't get a game for me. I don't know.
I see him at St Kilda next year.
So this is the thing. It's not talks. He's playing in the forward line. He's trained all preseason in the forward line.
He is shit in the forward. Straight up, gonna say it. Well, he had one good game. Was against West Coast.
Yeah, agreed.
He come out against St Kilda and fucking lost us the game. He's a spud.
Thank you, Carl.
He's lost
in the forward line.
But
yes,
can I just say he there was no Harry, no Charlie, right? So I don't think he's number one forward. He's not. He's absolutely not the number one forward. Number three, like at a third forward, I reckon he would actually.
I'd even argue that, bro.
But would you rather Kemp or would you rather Moya?
I'd rather Moya.
Definitely Moya.
Moya.
That's a good question, Amal, because I was about to say, all right, we got Charlie, we got Harry, we got Kemp, we got what's his name? Bubba Hollands,
Silvani.
And then you got Fogarty, and then you got Zach Williams, and then you got Jesse Mottler. Where are all these forwards gonna play? You know what I mean? I think Kemp is just the one that's gonna miss out, and I don't think you can play Zach Williams in defense anymore. I think mentally he's checked out of defense.
He wants to kick goals now.
I watched him last year. I'm pretty sure it was the Collingwood game, and he literally checked out of that game. He was scarred in that game. He didn't want to play defense anymore, and then we switched.
He doesn't want to chase. He doesn't want to chase.
He's not that guy in defensive. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he comes out All-Australian. He was my All-Australian pick last year for us. I shat the bed on that one. But, like, I just think there's, like, players like Kemp. I don't think he's in our best 22 or 23.
No, agreed.
You know, and if we're going to sack players like Owies and Kennedy, then we need to be just as ruthless with our team selection. We don't just pick players because he might do okay, or he might be. We're trying to win a flag. If you don't play the role, you're out. Give a kid a go. Lord, Moya, Binns, the other ones, I can't remember. There was a couple others that played last year who really stood out at that back end, especially
Cowan.
Lockie, Cowan as well.
He's a starter. He's definitely a starter.
Cowan's a starter.
Yeah, 100%.
So we've got backup for Newman missing out. Yeah, halfback flankers, they grow on trees these days, right? And Ollie Hollands, I think, is going to have a killer year off the halfback line. But players like Kemp for me are purely depth. He's not in our best 22. I don't see. Like Moya should be getting a game if he's fit. Moya should be not missing a game.
Yep.
He's got that X factor that we have been crying for since we had Garlett, Betts, and Yaron. We haven't had X factor since. We had Menzel. Remember that? Was it Troy Menzel or Daniel Menzel?
Troy.
I thought he was going to be that kid. I thought he was going to be that next X factor, and he went to Adelaide and he was a dud. So like, we're crying out for that. We've got that, and if Moya's fit enough, I can't see how Kemp takes his spot in the forward line. I think Moya becomes that Jack Martin role.
Sorry, George mentioned Kemp once. He just got roasted. Fuck you, Kemp. You're off.
but my point with Kemp and what I'm concerned about is you've got so for example a few different things. Newman being out, do they have the word to Zach and say, hey, by the way, we might have to chop and change it down back potentially, or do we persist with the options that we've got? Then you've got the options of if Jack is playing down back, are we going to panic after 2 or 3 rounds and then swap him with Kemp again?
Don't forget, we've got Nick Haynes here. We've got Nick Haynes as well, yeah.
He'll start to play alongside.
I feel like this is a good point. I feel like
That's
why
Kadir's comment there.
He'll be behind.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
I agree. But they'll both start in opening round.
Yeah, look, it's a new season, right? It's a new season. And I'm trying to be positive, but personally, I'm struggling, boys. I'm struggling to find the positivity. I think, even before the president thing and before Newman and before Walsh doing his hamstring again, let's talk about Walsh. Like, why can't he get his body right? What's going on there?
My biggest fear with Walsh is that he never realizes his absolute potential and his ceiling. That like worries me because the guy could be.
Since the year he came like 2nd or 3rd in the Brownlow, he's done nothing. Like, I mean, he had that amazing final series,
and when he came back, if you recall, I think it was it was 5 or 6 rounds when he came back last year. It's the getting his body right is concerning, and for him never to realize the consistency of what he's able to achieve is scary. As a Carlton fan, that worries you.
He actually looked good towards the back end as well. He was starting to run better. And I thought, sick, he's going to have a uninterrupted preseason. He's going to come out and smash it. And just another hamstring, 4 weeks interrupted. He's not a player that, like, if it happened to, countless other players, you'd be like, it's only a month. He'll be all right. But it worries me because how many interrupted preseasons is he going to have? And it's his hamstring. How's that going to affect his back and his hip?
They go hand in hand.
Exactly. So I worry. I worry about Sam Walsh. He's a big, big worry for me, man. It's like, I think you're right, George. Are we going to see his potential? Is he going to realize his potential? Or is he just going to be another player that doesn't quite get there? It's a lot to worry about with Sam Walsh.
Just on that, on a more positive note, Andrew Russell actually came out a couple of days ago and said that everyone is being overly dramatic about Sam Walsh and his hamstring injury. He said that he was extraordinary. He had huge impact on the playing group, and for 4 years, Walsh hardly missed a session. He was one of the most resilient players he has ever seen come into the game, and he doesn't say that lightly.
Wow.
So he's saying, yes, it's an injury. Yes, it's a slight setback, but does it have that much of an impact for a player like Walsh who has a massive training history? No. Don't worry about it. He'll be fine.
So he'll be ready by round 12 is what you're saying.
13.
Let's talk about Charlie. So he had is it called a knee arthroscope or whatever? Where they like
clean up.
Mm.
I don't know. Something's not right. Something's not right about the Charlie situation.
Which part? The laziness or the always injured?
No, I think they're underplaying it. I think they're underplaying I think they underplayed it last year as well. He
was in a moon boot in November.
Yeah. He no way he was going to play in one of those finals. So is another worry. And that's another reason why you need the likes of Ashton Moyer. Ashton Moyer is going to be so crucial to us being successful next year. I can just see
if they play him. That's the thing with Carlton and Voss. He's going to bring in these players. He's going to put Kemp before him.
Yeah.
Well,
Based on history.
Let's go round one, right? We're versing Richmond Thursday night at the MCG. It's absolutely chockers. Who's in your forward line? Harry and Charlie, if Charlie's fit, are
I
absolutely
don't reckon Charlie will play.
sure
if
he
fit,
does.
If fit,
I don't
he
reckon
plays.
he'll play.
Charlie, Harry.
But he's
When have
training,
we ever-
isn't he?
When
Training
have we
hard?
ever come out and said our player's going to play on this time and it's actually been correct?
Yeah.
I reckon he'll come back round 3, round 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if they rest a few for Richmond, to be honest. Just an unnecessary game. They'll look at it, and then Richmond will come out and probably beat us.
Look at us acting like we won the last 3 flags, just rest players.
Well, they're only potential threat to us. Noah Bolter's obviously out for a few weeks.
Both plays 2 good games a year, both against us.
Yeah, I think to answer your question there, I think it's if you got Charlie, Harry, Moyer, Fogg, Williams,
Hollands,
Collins, or Motlop, yeah.
Well, I reckon Motlop's been amazing preseason, but then again, we
reckon.
always say that. Yeah,
They reckon.
I reckon.
Hey, what's his name?
John, Lee, Mahmoud,
Keith.
Urban. Who are we talking about? Where's he play? Play for Carlton or Hawthorn?
Which one?
Jeff.
It was just in the chat. What's
My name is Jeff.
Oh no.
Lemmy.
Yes.
Lemmy.
Yes. What's going on with him? Anyone seen anything? Heard anything?
Apparently
He'll be
Keep him back,
he'll
have
be
an
a
arg.
backup to the backups.
Won't get a game.
Hopefully, if they can have a good year, a consistent year in the VFL. But I mean, he's realistically, he's got to be depth. But I'd love to see him have a crack a game or two, see what he's made of at AFL level. But...
Yeah. How about,
So in other words, what George is saying is he'll be delisted by the end of the year.
probably.
What I'm saying is I'd love to see him, but if you do see him, that means
It's not
unfortunately
a good thing.
it's probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just say just quickly, Andy, sorry, before you go, just to put a damper on it all, we're one injury away from not making the finals. Just putting that out there.
One.
Why?
Single. Solitary one.
But why?
One injury away, bro.
Give us.
And
give us
you
the
know
why,
what?
though.
We've got a few
Why do you
weeks
think that?
left.
Yeah,
We've got
why?
a few weeks left, right? And there's one more. I can just feel that there's one more bad one coming up. It's going to be like half a season or something.
This
like
bloke just
Sorry,
put
boys,
some
throwing
moz
it out
on
there,
us.
But who's the bad one we've got now besides Newman? The others will be like, almost ready to go.
I'm not riding that train of Walsh getting right. I don't think it'll happen. Train, do you like that? I don't use anyway. We'll keep moving. I don't think Walsh comes good, and I don't think Chera will play most of the year. I think he'll just be riddled with injuries continually.
See, I'm the complete opposite of you with
I
Chera.
reckon it'll be fun.
I'm a Chera guy. You guys know that. I think Chera's going to win our best and fairest if Cripps doesn't.
Yep. No, I'm still on that. That Chera doesn't sort of get right.
I reckon he's done his best. Didn't he go overseas? Didn't he go to like Dubai or Saudi Arabia or somewhere? Qatar. There you go. Mate, I don't fuck around over there. They would have bought him a brand new hamstring. So I'm telling you.
You go play.
Sorry, boys. Well, sorry, man, but yeah, I don't know. Wasn't there something with Harry the other day as well?
Shoulder.
That's cash.
Broken nail or something.
Yeah, that's cash. I just think, I think as supporters, like I said before, I think we need to just chill as well. I think we're too quick to just jump off because we're starved. We're starving for success, man. We've got nothing. You know what I mean? That Melbourne semi-final doesn't seem like it was, like we used to say it felt like just yesterday. Well, it feels like a long time ago now.
It does. It really
does.
does.
And the way we finished last year, the last 10, 11 games, and that embarrassment that was a final. Like, I hope the boys are G'd up. I really hope they've learned the lessons, and I hope we stay fit. I really, really hope we stay fit because that's ultimately the difference. Like that's what the club's relying on, right? We had a chance to get down Houston, we didn't.
Yeah.
So the club must think that they're good to go, and they think they're that good to go that they sold their future to get a young kid in. So this must be the team that they see winning a flag. So I don't know. I hope it goes right.
Energy levels, energy levels like you for me, Andy, all-time low. 2023 was the peak as a supporter. 2024,
Isn't that crazy though? Isn't that
drained it.
wild?
It drained it. Absolutely.
That run into the finals in 23 was amazing though.
No, we'll never ever top that. Ever, I don't think. Unless we win it. But
Miles ruining ourselves. We're done.
We are invoking the wrath of the chat now, especially most. I was saying, isn't it wild that yes, it was amazing. It was one of the best memories, one of the best nights of the footy ever in 2023. But
the floor was shaking, bro. The floor was shaking.
It was, but you know what I want? I want the floor shaking like it was in the grand final for Richmond versus GWS, where it was pandemonium. That's what I want. Opposition fans still look at us and we're a laughing stock, right? Like realistically, we're hanging our hat on a semi-final. And don't get me wrong, it was the greatest ever experience of the footy, but there's got to be more to it than that. We need to taste some success. I'm not saying it. It's Andy says it all the time. Cripps deserves it. Doherty deserves it. Everyone works hard for it, but we want to see it for this group of players. And I genuinely think we're capable of it. So Marl better not crash that plane.
I don't know if that's racist or I don't know if that was racially motivated, that one. I want to go back to Zach's comment. Have any of you done the ladder predictor?
No,
not yet.
So I did. I was bored and I've done it. And I thought I'd be as unbiased as I possibly could. And I gave the games that were 50-50. Most of them, I said that we'd lose. And I think I gave us a couple of 50-50s.
Yep.
Have a guess where we finished. I'm
going to say 7.
Carl? 7? Mark?
11.
Georgie?
5th.
Moss?
How many teams in the comp?
41.
41. Nah. I'm going to go 13th.
Moss is right. Absolutely right. 13th on the ladder. I had us finishing, and that's me being like, I was like erring on the side of like, we're going to lose, right? Like, we might lose this. All the 50-50, and there's a lot of 50-50 games. So it just, for me, it shows how fine that line is between, winning and losing and getting things right, and just how important it is to get things right. We've seen our best. We know what our best is and what we can do with our best. We didn't really see that much last year. We had that little patch in the middle season where we looked great. Like from that Port Adelaide game up until the Geelong game. And then the Richmond one after that, when Cripper kicked that goal, we won by 10 goals, but I don't know. That was a shaky 10-goal win. That wasn't a good 10-goal win. I know it sounds dumb to say, but it wasn't a great 10-goal win. And then it just completely fell apart quarter time, GWS. Yep. And if we take that half of that back end form into this season, we're gone. Teams around us have improved. So,
massively.
Yeah, they've added to their list.
Red hot comp,
that's what I mean.
It's footy that's been played.
I'm going completely the other way. Everyone's regressed, and we're going to fucking climb to that pile of crap that there are around us, and I'm going the other way. I'm sorry. See, I mate, Brisbane. All right, you lost Joe. Who they replaced him with? Some guy from Gold Coast. Nah, they're not achieving. They're not. Yeah, they're Joe. Mate, we're going to come out. We're going to start steamrolling. We're going to have an awkward patch, and the media is going to pile on us, undoubtedly. And I think we're going to come home like a. We're going to
a Carlton president.
Whatever George says always happens the opposite.
Bro, what game plan? This is perfect. I was just going to say, what game plan? How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
Bomb along.
Well, We're only as good as our last game, as far as I'm concerned. And if we continue with that same game plan of bombing it long, it doesn't matter who's playing in what position. We're going to be fucking shithouse.
Yep.
The game plan needs to change. It needs to change.
We
Why?
need to have one.
Because the long bombs don't work. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
but that's the plan, but it's good.
Nah,
That's what Voss wants.
No.
Mr.
not gonna work.
Confused on the bench. We're down by 10 goals. This bloke scratching his head on the bench. Doesn't know what to do. I'm still
what?
dirty. The more we talk about Carlton, I just remember that final and how
Don't do it.
filthy, I was so positive last year, right? And I sounded probably as ridiculous as George just sounded, right? Because I went into every single game, even in our losing patch, we're going to win by 10 goals. I genuinely thought on our best, we'll beat anyone. And I still believe that. But now what I don't believe in is the coaching staff. And I don't believe that the players are mentally strong enough. I think the players are very fragile mentally. I think apart from maybe 3 or 4 of them, and we've just lost probably our most mentally resilient one, Nick Newman. Apart from 3 or 4 of them, I just think, fuck, we need a lot to go right next year, you know. And I think we'll make finals. I still think we'll make finals, but I think it's going to be a tough road. It's going to be another tough one. I don't think it's going to be easy, and it's going to be hard because of us. We do it like to ourselves.
As
And
in us,
unless
our
the-
group chat.
Nah, as in like the team, like Amal said, bro, this long bombing, we saw for how long that this was happening and it was bad, and nothing was done to rectify it. Nothing was done to change it. So I'm hoping to God that Voss had a good preseason. He went away, studied whatever they do, whatever coaches do in the preseason to learn and to get better. I hope he does that. I don't think we've added anyone to the coach's box. We kept being told that we needed experience, that Voss needed experience around him. Well, we haven't done that from what I know. So I just hope we get it right. That's it. I really hope we get it right.
Let me read us a snippet from an article on Sen from SEN.
Sen.
Harry Mackay. Harry Mackay said this about a grand final, how a grand final doesn't define you. Definitely and obviously the goal to win one. As I said, the group is in a really good place right now to give it a good shake. As a group, we're in the window right now, and anything can happen for us as long as you're playing. So I don't think there's a rushness that we need to win the grand final this year, although as a senior player, that's all you're thinking about every time you wake up. But yeah, there's obviously an understanding that they're hard to win, and as you get older and older, that window gets smaller. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, do you want to win it or not? Or are you saying, yeah, we do, but it's really hard, and I don't know if we can do it? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, so to me, when I read that, I thought that was him drawing a clear line between life and football. That football is his job. He actually mentions the word job. And that's all it is. And this is why I always say, like, players don't care like the fans do. Right? Like the fans, this is our life. We follow the same team from when we're young until we die. Whereas players, like, if they get a better offer from a different club, they're probably going to go. So, yeah, I don't know.
I reckon Harry needs to shut the fuck up. Straight up. Just shut up.
Eat
Fucking
a bag.
big buffoon.
Yeah.
Sorry, just comment ruined me.
Justin, legend. I want to shout out a few people in the chat. Justin, of course, absolute legend. Naz in the chat. Naz visits me at work quite often. He doesn't drink. He's not an alcoholic. He just comes in. He just comes in to depress me about Carlton and then leaves. That's what he's done the last few times. Absolute legend. Yeah, so shout out. Guys, we're on 87 people in the chat. We're on 42. Get us up to 60. If you haven't hit the like button, smash the like button. Get us to 60.
It's free to push the like button.
Every single like helps us, guys. So,
And girls.
yeah. Yes, and girls, absolutely.
And on that, I think as well. Speaking of helping each other, I think as well we are. I spoke with Andy earlier. Keen to help some either small and medium businesses expand their reach as well. So I know Andy, big advocate of this, obviously as a small business owner.
Yeah. So look, everyone who's watched us, I mean, there's quite a few of you guys who've watched us from day one, and we're super appreciative of you guys. I've got a small business. I know what it's like to get a little bit of exposure or whatever, and what me and the boys have decided to do is try to take on some sponsors this year, right? It'll help us improve as well as a show for you guys. And if you've got a small business, if you've got a big business, any business, hit us up. We've come up with some pretty good deals, some pretty good price points as well. So just to make sure nobody's kind of excluded, right? We've made it, I feel, quite affordable for smaller businesses as well. Hit us up if you'd like to jump on board. We'll help you get your business out there. We've got quite a platform, so we're just happy to share the love a bit. We're not in it to. We love the club, and we know you guys love the club as well. And if we can help each other out, then we're more than happy to take anyone on pretty much as a sponsor. So as many as we can get, it'll be great. Moose needs to renew his gym membership, so
and wants to quit his job.
Help. George needs some help as well, apparently.
And Amal needs to buy a plane.
Amal needs his plane. But if you're keen, make sure you hit us up. We're pretty accessible just on Instagram. You can message the group, message us individually. We're all pretty accessible. Whoever you're comfortable talking to. Really looking forward to the next, chapter for the Monday Blues. It's been an interesting one for us, considering we had no plan when we started.
Still got no plan.
We still don't
really have. We literally had our first ever meeting, like proper meeting, where we discussed things. We met up for about 3 hours and probably spoke about stuff for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah,
we smashed out a lot. So,
I think
if you can, hit us up.
It's definitely a good call out. I think it's exposure, I guess, for small, medium, large businesses as well. If we can utilize our reach to help you, we've got our email on the video description as well, or just hit us up on the socials, or any one of us individually. Really keen to have a few people on board, and big thanks to Blues Crypto for 2024. It was fantastic having Order the team behind us as well. Curious George has to make a comeback or we riot, says Justin.
I thought we're doing Aren't we doing naked
thing,
moose?
George?
What are we doing, naked moose?
Aren't we doing naked
This
moose
is
this
the thing. The sponsors are what's going to enable us to actually grow and develop as a.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So, look, if you're keen, hit us up, because we've got some really cool ideas that of ways to incorporate your business with, with our show. So
segments.
Make sure you hit us up. Yeah, segments. We'll have your logo up on the screen. We'll chuck your business name up on Instagram and our TikTok. So hit us up. We've got many ideas. So
Curious George, I'll maybe appearance or two. I'll see how we go. But keep an eye out. Gateway at the MCG, Gate 3, Gate 4.
I'll tell you what else is happening, which is pretty exciting. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm on a show on the Jumper Punch with Rocco called Unfiltered, and it's just pretty much we have a chat about life and the world and music, art, movies. The Jumper Punch boys are actually having another live show. It'll be the week before. I think Georgie's got the graphic. It's the week before the Richmond game. Really, really exciting. They've got some really good guests. So Terry from Blue Abroad will be there. Almost Blues Brothers will be there. We'll be there. Bucky from My Blue Heaven will be there. And there'll be some past Carlton players as well. It's going to be a great night. They always put on a good show. So make sure you head down, buy a ticket. The QR code is on the screen now. The Jumper Punch have it up on their Instagram as well. I'm keen. I know the boys quite well. They're always a good laugh. They're good to be around. They had, who'd they have last time? Heath Scotland and Chief Wiggins. which was great night. So get around the jumper punch as well.
Absolutely good call. I'll bring it up one more time in case you missed the QR code. The first two live shows they had were fantastic. So if there's
this one's more about us.
Yeah.
Well, it's more about us or the content creators, So obviously Terry being, the OG of it. He'll be there. So it'll be good. Yeah, of course.
Excellent.
What else?
And well done on your fantastic work on the off season on Unfiltered. Something a little bit different, but if you haven't gone and checked it out, what is it? 8 or 9 episodes? I think you guys managed to fit in.
Yeah, I think we had 8 or 9 episodes. It's actually pretty hard to run a show like that. Rocco does all the work. Rocco's an incredible work. He's got an incredible work rate when it comes to this. I just pretty much rock up. Rocco messages me or calls me for ideas, and I'm just like, mate, I got no idea. That's the thing, yeah. Like, we have no idea what we're talking about. We try not to talk, before the show. I just rock up to his house. We kick back 15 minutes, and how are you? Yeah, good. And then he'll be like, this happened. I'll be like, tell me on the show. Don't tell me now. Tell me on the show. So we actually sit in silence sometimes until the show. But Rocco's an absolute gentleman, and we had Mars on the other night. So if you haven't seen that episode, if you follow the Jumper Punch, you obviously know Mars. Jump on and watch that episode. It was very, very good, very insightful. And yeah, this is the number one show, boys. This is the one. This is the Monday Blues. Like, I love Rocco. I love the Jump Punch. But they're like, their shows are what, number 3 and 4, as Rocco says. This is the number one.
We just lost a follower.
That was Rocco. Rocco's gone. Rocco's gone. Fuck this.
By the way, just quietly, we are 4 subscribers away from 1,500, and that's actually, I think we've been stuck on that for since our fall from grace in the middle of the season. So if you haven't already, we'd really appreciate it. Get us to 1,500 tonight. We're 4 away. Hit the like button, subscribe.
Get your mum's phone, your dad's phone,
your mum to subscribe, your cat, anyone.
Yeah,
just 4 away. Let's get it to 1,500.
Yeah, man. If you're just watching and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe, man. Hook us up.
Get us to 1,500.
Can I just say that I had some durian, and I didn't know what durian was. Do any of you boys know what it is? Have you had it?
I'll go after that show. Staying far, far away.
It's this Thai fruit, and Rocco brought some in for me to try while we were live, and let me just tell you, it was one of the most horrid experience, probably the most horrid experience of my life. It was not normal. It's not nice. It tastes okay, but the smell was the worst thing in the world. Whatever thing you think smells the worst thing, it's worse than that by 4,000. It's the worst thing. When I got home, I had a shower, washed my hands, I scrubbed my smell it on my hands. I actually had to spray WD-40 on my hands just to get the smell away. It was horrid. Never again. Shocking.
All right. Well,
quick shout to Scotty Tompkins. Sorry, Moss, 3rd of Feb, and Moss still hasn't blinked all year. I had to throw that in there.
Thanks, man.
First episode for the season done. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, just before the season kicks off. We'll get through some predictions, how we think the club and the team will go for season 2025. Before we kick off with normal proceedings, the standard schedule of previews and reviews on a weekly basis. Gents, it's been a pleasure to see you all once again. Can't say I'm excited, but I am at the same time for season 2025. I'm keeping a lid on my expectations, and I just want to see how the first couple of rounds go before I either get too excited or not excited at all.
We're fucking winning the flag. Book it in. I don't care.
I'm J'ing up. I don't know.
I'm on that train. I'm on that fucking train.
Doing this is giving me that, that false sense of hope that we get every year.
Just
This
stuff
is
it.
this is
Get some
cheering me
help.
up a bit. This
I'm
is
done.
we didn't even talk about one of the main things that happened. Fucking Matty always saying "fuck Carlton." Can we talk about
Fuck
that?
Carlton. I'm with Matty.
I'm with Matty. Fuck Carlton all day.
Nah.
Who's going to
Hey,
run through him?
I was
I'm with him,
like,
I'm with him.
no. Then you're not a Carlton man because, mate,
But look at how they treated him. Look at how they treated him.
how'd they treat him? He got traded like
Wanna
any other
talk-
player.
Oh, come on, bro.
Matty always.
He wore that Carlton Guernsey like no one ever did.
Yep.
And they just said, yeah,
So-
all right, we're not signing you.
Wait, you went backwards.
Very well, like no one ever did.
Hey.
He just pulled it a few times, bro.
That's all he did.
He did fucking something to pull.
Luke says.
Here we go.
For me, it's like I wasn't cut at him. Like, he just got traded. Like, we're just not used to losing players because we've been shit for fucking 30 years. So losing players for us was never a thing. We what name players did we ever really lose? Fev, when he started pissing on restaurants and pressure points. But like, we never really lost players. But this is what good teams do. Good teams trade, right? And that's all we did. And for him to turn around and say, fuck Carlton, after we gave him a fucking contract, we gave him a life, we gave him a fucking name. And this piece of shit, this little dog wants to jump on camera and say, fuck Carlton, mate, fuck you. And if he walks off the ground, if he walks on his 2 feet, then we've fucked up. He needs to go off on a stretcher. He needs to go off on a stretcher. Next year,
he'll be in the All-Australian side. Mark my words.
Maybe so. But he still said fuck Carlton after we made him who he is. Remember that. That's biting a hand that fucking made you. So fuck you, Matty Owies, you little dog.
Carlton West Coast will definitely be.
Bring a stretcher, you dog.
It'll be an interesting game to watch.
I would have loved to have seen Nick Newman run straight through him. Unfortunately, we won't.
Cowan's going to do it. Cowan's going to do it.
Lockie Cow. Oh, yes, you're right, Georgie.
Cowan will take care of it.
Matty Owies.
I don't know.
That pissed me off. I got upset.
It wasn't good to see. I'm not saying it was great to see, but you look at things from his point of view, right?
But what point of view?
But we'll never know. We'll never know. We'll never know the conversations. We'll never know what happened. Maybe they promised him something. Maybe it didn't come through. I don't know.
I think it was pretty obvious when we didn't sign him and we're signing Corey Durden. That's the writing on the wall for you. When they're signing Durden, not signing.
And wouldn't you be cut at that? And would you not be fucking pissed at that?
No, because it's a sport, bro. People get traded. Bro, did you not just see what happened in the NBA? You want to talk about like trades? They traded the Mavs traded Luka to the Lakers for AD.
Yeah.
Like it's one of it was out of nowhere. You want to talk about a dirty trade? Luka didn't know about it. AD didn't know about it. Imagine just getting the call, yeah, look, you're moving to the other side of the country. Just like that.
You know what? When they're making that much money, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Bro, what do you mean? Luka lost $100 million.
How much did he make?
Who cares? It's $100 million.
He didn't lose it, but he just wasn't paid yet.
Well, that's the thing. If he stayed,
he didn't lose it.
That's he was promised that, bro.
He'll
you want to talk about that? He was promised it, and then
we were giving Owies $80K on the rookie contract.
Yeah, bro. You think he cares, bro? This bloke's living in Perth now in the sun, kicking back with Ben Cousins. Again,
doing
probably Luke says as well.
Yeah, Luke Sayers is over there sending again.
Bring back Alex for solo. I say, fuck. I remember that one. That was bad. Prince of Perth. You just triggered
that's what we used to do for trades, bro. That was our trades back in the day. Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, Carl West Coast, book it in.
Yeah,
he'll kick 10. Mark my words.
Settle down, Moss. Settle down.
All right, gents. It's been a pleasure. We'll reconvene in a couple of weeks' time, just before the season starts. And until then, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, gents, and thanks for everyone who jumped on tonight.
Sicky now.